everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about the type of things that I do at the beginning of the year to teach my students about the Catholic faith. If you are a teacher, a parent, or just someone interested in education and faith, you're in the right place. In this video, I'll be taking you through a variety of the activities I use, such as books and prayers, to craft ideas and helpful resources. Let's dive right in. Okay, but first, disclaimer, I'm a first grade teacher, so some of the things I talk about will be specific to younger students. Some of the things will be general for anybody teaching the Catholic faith to elementary age students. So keep that in mind as you continue watching. I promise there'll be something you can walk away with from this video. Now, let's dive right in. One of the key aspects of teaching the Catholic faith is teaching students the importance and significance of Mass and how to be active participants. Some of the students in my class aren't Catholic. Some of the students in my class haven't been to Mass since last school year. Because of this, I take time to talk about simply the postures of Mass. When to stand, when to sit, what it looks like to kneel and be reverent. I really like to talk about some of the smallest details of the Mass, like the priest kissing the altar. I'll talk about when the priest pours the water, like just a drop, into the wine. So those are just two of the small details I talk about, and I'll tell my students, watch for that to happen. Here's why that happens. So then, when they're at Mass and they're actively watching for those small moments to happen, they'll turn and look at me and they'll say, I saw it. Because when we were in class, I told them it was going to happen and I told them why it was going to happen. Being proactive about teaching about the Mass really helps students be engaged instead of saying, can I go to the bathroom? When is this going to be over? I just really want to go. But trust me, I have students who are like that during Mass too. So you're not alone if that is some of your class. Teaching about the Mass helps reduce those moments. I'm going to pop up a few books that I use to teach about Mass throughout the year. I highly recommend these. Moving on to our daily prayers. At the beginning of the year, I take time to discuss the meaning behind the prayers that we say on the announcements or throughout our day. Sometimes memorized prayers can just feel like a string of words. I've been there, maybe you've been there too. We slow them down, break down the meaning of each word to help the students understand the weight of their words. These are important words. Let me tell you about a few things I do to break down the meaning of the prayers. I like to use the book from the Little Me, Big God series called How Can I Pray? I like to use this book for breaking down the Our Father and where we got it from. To enhance our discussion about the Hail Mary, I created a booklet where students illustrate the different parts of the prayer. Because I do teach first grade and this is the beginning of the year, I don't want them writing anything yet. That can feel too overwhelming, and this isn't meant to be overwhelming. This is meant to make meaning of this prayer. So they illustrate the different parts of the prayer and it becomes so much more meaningful. Additionally, my class has a special prayer called the 10-finger prayer that I learned when I was in elementary school. It goes like this. Jesus, you died for me. Help me live for you, just for today. We say this prayer every day during calendar, just as a morning offering to Jesus and to remind ourselves to live like him. During calendar, I also use the Prayers Before the Bell book. If you don't have this, I highly recommend this to educators of all ages for Catholic schools. Every single day, there's a short but meaningful prayer that's related to the season of the school year, the liturgical season. Just everyday happenings in a school. It's short, it's meaningful, we say it out loud, I love it. I'm gonna overlay some videos of what some of the prayers are. If you're gonna take away any recommendation from this video, take away this book. This is not sponsored in any way. Nothing about this video is sponsored. These are just things that I genuinely love and recommend for you. To introduce prayer in a general sense, I use the book Anytime, Any Place, Any Prayer. It's a part of the Tales That Tell the Truth series. Again, if you've never heard about the Tales That Tell the Truth series, look into it. These books are rooted heavily in the Kerygma. It takes stories and relates it directly to why Jesus lived and died on the cross for us and why he rose again. Check out this series. It's called Tales That Tell the Truth. The story starts with Adam and Eve, and then it connects directly to why Jesus died on the cross. Boom. Connected right away. It shows us different scenarios in which we can pray. Whether we're sick, we need help, we want to thank God, we're scared, and so many more ways. To have my students connect this concept to their lives of praying anytime, any place, anywhere, I created a handout where they can draw somewhere that they can pray. This year, some of them drew that they can pray at school, they can pray on their swing set, they can pray at their grandma's house, and so much more. It's a way for them to connect this idea of prayer in a general sense to their own lives, and hopefully it's a way to make it a goal for them to pray at this place. And finally, I reinforce this message of praying anytime, any place, anywhere with the display on my windows. It shows students writing, reading, dancing, singing, painting, playing, so much more. These are visuals of the times we can pray, how we can pray, and my students can look at them all year as reminders to talk to God, prayer is simply talking to God. And I want to make it as approachable as I can for my students. If there are more ways that you introduce prayer with your students, will you comment them down below? I'm totally open because prayer is an everyday conversation in my classroom. And I'm always open to more ways to help make it meaningful for these young minds. One of the first academic things in the Catholic sense that we explore in my classroom is the story of creation and Adam and Eve. I love using Bible passages from my kids' Bibles. I'm going to pop up the two that I love. One is a graphic novel Bible that I love, and the other is just a classic kids illustrated Bible. I love these. And then I also love showing YouTube videos. Specifically, I love showing the Saddleback Kids animated Bible stories. That channel is a goldmine for just making these stories come to life in a way that students are immediately engaged with. If you've never watched their videos, please go check them out. Again, I'm not connected, affiliated, or sponsored by them in any way, but I love their videos and it's my go-to channel for Bible stories. When teaching about creation, I read God's Very Colorful Creation. The illustrations in this book are absolutely beautiful and vibrant, and it's a part of a greater series that I use throughout the year. To help my students connect personally with the story of Adam and Eve, I use a resource that I created. It's a booklet that has them reflect on a time in their life that they wanted something really badly, but they couldn't have it. What did that feel like when they wanted something, but they couldn't have it? How does that connect to Adam and Eve really wanting the fruit in the Garden of Eden, but they couldn't have it? How did Adam and Eve feel before they ate the fruit and after they ate the fruit? And finally, what is something they can do, my students can do in their life, to choose and make a choice to grow closer to God? It's all about choices, and I want them to understand that. I'll link that resource down below. Now let's talk about the creative side of things. Crafts are not only really enjoyable, but they also make the lessons more memorable too. This year I started with 2 simple craft ideas to kick off our Catholic faith. The first craft is kind of like a stained glass window cross. It's a simple yet beautiful activity where students cover a cross outline on clear contact paper using colorful tissue paper. Laying another piece of contact paper on top seals in the colors, creating a stunning stained glass effect. We hang these on our windows as a constant reminder of God's light shining through, and also it's just a way to add color to our classroom. Throughout the year, we'll do this activity for the different seasons, whether Catholic or not. We'll do an apple, a pumpkin, a shamrock, a nativity scene, and so much more. This year, I'm going to try to do it about once a month. The second craft that I do involves a shamrock to teach about the Trinity. Each leaf of the shamrock contains a phrase or word and an image. It has a heart with the word Father, a cross with the word Son, and a dove with Holy Spirit. This leads us into a discussion about the Holy Trinity, where we explore the concept of 3 persons and 1 God. The students use Q-tips to paint because it's a very approachable way to begin the year with painting. And it's not too messy. This year, in fact, they did this whole shamrock painting with just 1 Q-tip. They could use both sides, and since I use all shades of green, it's okay if the colors mix. One of the reasons I start the year by talking about the Trinity is to address the mystery that surrounds it. I just do this up front because children often have many questions about how God and Jesus can be both the same and different. Finally, I added something special this year and unique. As you can see, I have a guitar behind me. I took lessons from like 6th grade to freshman year when I was younger and didn't pick it up since then until COVID, and then I was like, okay, let me teach myself to play again. And finally this year I worked up enough courage to bring my guitar in with my students, and we have worship time during the day. It is so prayerful, so joyful, and I highly recommend working in some sort of praise and worship in your classroom. If you're not comfortable playing the guitar with your students, that's okay. What I've done in years past is just throw on YouTube videos that have the lyrics on it and just let the students praise and sing their hearts out. With that, it wraps up what I do at the beginning of the year, at least some of the ideas with the Catholic faith. I hope you found some of these ideas inspiring or helpful in what you want to do with your students. There's always a way to make whatever you're learning about with the Catholic faith relatable to the students. Sometimes it can feel hard to do that, but I promise there's a way. All of the links to the books, YouTube videos, resources I made on Teachers Pay Teachers are below. Go check them out. If you have any questions, comment them below. I'm pretty good at replying to comments on my videos, so let me know. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. That lets me know I should make more like this. If you have any suggestions for other videos that you would like for me to make, please let me know. If you do anything awesome at the beginning of the year for the Catholic faith, please let me know. I'm all ears, and I just want to make all students get to know Jesus a little bit better and a little bit more each year. That's all for now. Hope to see you next time.